Here we go. It's Packer time. Packer Tuesday. It's not a victory Tuesday, but it is a Tuesday where the Packers played before. And we got a game to talk about. So that's what we're going to talk about. It's not a bye week, and it's not a situation where we can just take the week off. And it's a mixed
Sure.
bag. I'm kind of after the game. I wasn't really that upset. I was more kind of feeling the way Aaron Rodgers was feeling, and some of the things he said that the team kind of
Oh boy.
showed him more than made him feel better about the team in general, about how they could stack up against other teams. Minus a couple that want to run the ball. We'll get to that. But really, I mean, as much as everybody talked about the Colts defense and how awesome they were and all this sort of stuff, like the Packers offense did some stuff against them. So I felt pretty good about that. But I know we got some bad stuff to talk about too. And we got MVS to talk about, and probably not in the way you're expecting, but we'll get to that as well. That's a teaser for you. All right, Ben, how are you doing? And what are we starting off with tonight? You're in charge.
I got Twizzlers
Okay.
in honor of Dad, who likes his Twizzlers.
Are you making the Twizzler straws tonight?
I'm trying, but I got a bad batch. They're too tight, so it's hard to.
Oh,
Mm.
got to massage them a little bit, like pinch them the opposite direction, widen them out. It's working.
Ah, nice. And then you always eat the bottom because it's all full of squirt.
Squirt.
That's a good combo, squirt and strawberry Twizzlers. I'm just telling you, it's a good combo.
All right. Let's get to the business here after that. What
Well,
else?
here, I'll tell you my thoughts. I didn't watch the game
Okay.
because I live in the crappy state of Minnesota, unfortunately. So I took a nap because I'm in the middle. Tomorrow's my 5 in the morning day in a row. Lucky for me. And I'm really getting sick of this crap. Luckily, I got off Thanksgiving. But I did wake up and I was going to watch the game in its completion on the Game Pass, plug Game Pass, best $100 I ever spent. And now you can get it for less. I don't know how much less because the ads keep saying you can do it now for even less. And well, who knows what it is, but Bruce is in. What's up, Bruce? And then so I did, however, get to watch overtime or part of overtime. The very end. Well, I saw the play that everybody's going to talk about, and um, and then I'd heard about all the things that had happened because they went over all, and Joe Suck and Trey McMahon or whatever they call him it went over it all, and so I saw how they had a huge lead and they blew it and blah blah blah, and I felt nothing. I wasn't angry when MVS fumbled. I was like, yeah, well, I mean, what are you gonna do? Yep. And you got 3 other turnovers, and you had a freaking and the worst part is this. On Friday, I said I was ready for it's going to be a 2-touchdown win for the Pack, a blowout, right? And at halftime, that's what it was, even though they had 2 turnovers. But the Colts had 2 turnovers too in the first half, so that's what evened it out. The game was even. Packers had a 2-touchdown lead, and so I was sort of right. I was half right because I was up. I was right up until halftime, and after that, the wheels fell off, and there you go. So whatever. Back to you.
You're right. If they would have just kept doing what they were doing in the first half, it would have been your prediction would have come true. Everybody was upset when I got to say this real quick about score predictions. I just don't like doing them. I know everybody likes doing them, and I know I jumped off Friday before we could do them. Everybody's like, "I didn't get to give my score prediction." I'm sorry. I just people do those all the time, and they're always so wrong. I just figured like, what's the point? But that's cool. We're gonna do them. We're gonna do them Friday nights. Who for everybody who wants to do them, I'm just not gonna do them because I think it's dumb, and
I'll do them.
and I'm really bad at it, so I'm not gonna do it. Here's one thing before we get into the game and the Packers. I mean, so you didn't have to sit through the game. You watched the condensed version or whatever. So
I didn't even watch because
you didn't even have to hear all the Troy Aikman.
No, I heard none of that crap. I didn't
nonsense. Again, it was insane. Like some of the stuff that was said was so biased and so crazy. I'm just like, what? How is this? How are these guys even on here? I don't get it. I know Eckes tells me not to get worked up about it, and everybody else says don't get worked, don't listen to him. But this is Fox's #1 team covering the big game, and unfortunately, They cover the Packers a fair amount of the time, and every time they do, there is incredible bias against the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. And it's just to the point of this, Ben. Here's one instance. Early in the game, early in the first quarter, Bob Tunyon ran across the formation from right to left and tried to go out in the flat. And Rodgers wanted to throw it to him. And he was held. He was held like pretty bad where he couldn't get off the guy. And then Rodgers either had to throw it away or do something else with it or whatever.
Why didn't he throw it to him? It would have been pass interference or defensive holding.
No, because there was no call here. There was no.
Yeah, but if he would have threw the ball, then it would. How far downfield was he?
He was in the flat. He was just getting out.
Okay, so if you throw the ball while he's being held, that's pass interference. I blame Aaron Rodgers on that.
I think he threw.
I think he destroyed your whole thing.
No, but here's the point. He comes back after, and Rodgers is talking to Tunyon, and right away Troy Aikman is like, "Yeah, right." And okay, the very next play they run some other play, the right side. He throws it to Tunyon, and then Troy Aikman starts talking about Robert Tunyon, and he's like, yeah, Rodgers was, talking to him after that last play because he wasn't happy with something he did over there and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, they were probably talking about, hey, you got held on that one, didn't you? But Troy Aikman is inferring like he knows the conversation between Aaron Rodgers and Robert Tunyon right there and telling that. Here's the problem. For people that get it, okay, not a big deal. But there's a lot of people that are just watching the game, consuming it, and they hear the announcers. Well, the announcer said Aaron Rodgers was being really mean to him and didn't like what he did on that play. No, he just was probably like, hey, you got held in that one. I don't know why the hell they didn't call it again. Because apparently like guys can rough up Packers guys and they don't get calls all the time, except for
like
the
Aaron Jones face mask. The guy freaking ripped his head off.
Like seriously. I mean, the Packers, it's when a guy gets tackled like that. And that's the only thing that stopped him because the guy grabbed his head. If he doesn't stop his head right there, Jones could get out and make a big play on that. It's just dumb. Anyway, that was one. And then the incredibly egregious one at the end of the game was talking about how, I think if I got it right, I got to get it right. They're talking about Phillip Rivers and that he was, first of all, Joe Buck said Hall of Famer, Phillip Rivers, right away, right out of the gate.
I don't know.
Then, but Troy Aikman said, I think, God, where's my quote? I even typed it in somewhere. Oh, come on. All right. I'm going to have to paraphrase because I can't find it. But he basically said that Phillip Rivers makes some kind of normal play. He's like, he's just amazing. He's just incredible with what he does. And they're just raving about Phillip Rivers and not saying all that same sort of stuff about Aaron Rodgers. And I'm just like, okay. So like Rodgers makes a play and they don't want to give him good credit for it. It's always, oh, Matt LaFleur came up with a great play on that or something, or this happened, or, oh, the Colts defense, I don't know what the heck they were doing there. Not when, the Packers leave dudes wide open or they can't catch one of Phillip Rivers' lofty balls up in the air and pick it off when it's hanging in the middle of the field.
I'll say this. Phillip Rivers knows his offense. Yeah. And he knows where the guys are going to be open based on the defense. And there were a couple times in this game where he got pressure and he threw up some wounded duck that looked like it was going to be in the middle of nowhere. And there was a freaking Colt there who caught it. That's fine. Like luck. It happened more than one time. He obviously knows what he's doing. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying I wouldn't watch that guy play and be like oohing and eyeing about how amazing he is. Yeah, now, the other part is that they love being the haters of the Packer fan. Like they know the Packer fans hate him because I've heard Joe Buck talk about it. Oh, really? Yes, he's been on radio shows talking about it. On Rich Eisen one time he was on, and Rich Eisen brought up the fact that he's doing the Packers this week, and he's like, "Yeah, I got the Packers." No, it was last year before the NFC Championship game. Because I remember, and he was talking about how the Packer fans don't like him, and they know, they both know that the Packer fans hate him, and they love it. So they're going to keep doing it because they love doing it. They love the fact that the Packers, especially when the Packers are losing, especially when it seems like they're going to blow a lead. So yeah, they're going to talk smack. That's what they do. They're jerks. They're just like Skip and all those other yahoos, idiot morons, and don't worry about it. They're jerks. They're ding-dongs. I don't give a crap. No, I didn't see the game, so I don't know. I mean, I saw the game, but I didn't watch all the – I just watched the quick version of it. I didn't watch the whole. And by the way, I got to hear this a bunch of times. And the pass is caught. And it's caught. The pass is caught. Pass is incomplete. Pass is caught. Come up with one other phrase. Anything. Snapped, grabbed, snagged,
complete.
Complete.
Pass
drilled. The pass is drilled or whatever, and he makes the catch. Yeah. Anything. But every single time it's a pass is caught.
Bernard, how you doing, man?
Caught. I mean, come on. That's the thing that bothers me.
Well,
how is that I don't care about all the Packer hate and all. I mean, they're idiots, and I don't care. But the fact that guy is their lead guy, and he can't come up with another phrase when a guy catches a pass. I mean, good God! And how doesn't he have producers and guys that who can be like, hey, dude, you're kind of
yes, I found it. Sorry to interrupt, but I got really excited because I found the exact quote. I even put it in quotes in my text to Nick. Here it is. You tell me if any time utilizing or watching Phillip Rivers play quarterback, you could have said this during that game or otherwise in his whole career.
Okay.
Aikman, I said, he continues to play down anything Rodgers does, but he just said Phillip Rivers is a marvel to watch.
He is.
In quotes, a marvel to watch.
He is a marvel to watch. I agree.
Oh.
Because I don't know how a guy who can barely freaking throw a wounded duck pass somehow completes all these passes.
Because he's going against the Packers defense.
No, but other guys too. I mean, it's ridiculous. When you watch, how does that even get somewhere? I don't know, but it does. It is a marvel. And I think that's what Troy Aikman means.
No.
I think Troy Aikman is also trolling all the Colts fans as well by saying that. Because what was his tone?
He's an idiot.
Was it like this? Was it like
it was after Phillip Rivers made a touchdown pass. And it was the one where Preston Smith was manned up against Trey Burton going up the seam.
Wow.
In the second quarter. Preston Smith, man coverage against the tight end. No help. Nobody else there. P. Smith, cover him up, baby. Trey Burton, the guy who was supposed to be this receiving tight end. And on that play, it was a good throw and all, but I'm like, you beat Preston Smith. Dude.
Is that the guy who used to be a Bear?
Yeah.
And they let him go? Was he also the same guy who used to be an Eagle?
I think so, yeah.
Who did he throw the pass to Nick Foles for a touchdown in the Super Bowl?
I don't know about that. Anybody? Bruce might know.
Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. That's what Bernard is saying.
Bernard,
you are correct. Patrick Mahomes is the freaking MVP.
No, he's not.
Dude, I watched that game.
I watched it too. Derek Carr's the MVP if you watch that game.
Derek Carr is damn good.
He was playing great.
I'll tell you this. You know what impressed me with Derek Carr?
A lot for me.
He was looking at the Chiefs defense, and he knew what the hell they were doing every time. There's one play where he changed the play like 4 times, and then the Chiefs changed the play, and he changed the play, and then the Chiefs changed the play, and then he changed the play, and then the Chiefs changed the play, and then he changed the play, and it was amazing to hear it because there's no fans, right? So you get to hear all this stuff, and I was just like, wow, this is so awesome. This was like awesome. I was like, wow. And he had another couple plays too where he was dead to rights and somehow threw it like to a spot where I don't know, he just knew the guy was going to be there. And man, I wish he would throw to Henry Ruggs a little bit more. God dang, Vernon. But other than that, I mean, I'm just saying, like, Derek Carr is, hey, by the way, we need to do Ben's top 10 quarterbacks re-up edition. Derek Carr is on that list. That's all I'm going to say.
If you listen to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, Phillip Rivers better be on there too. Because
Phil Rivers ain't on it, but he's
a marvel to watch.
He is a marvel
to watch. Hall of Famer, first ballot. Maybe he didn't say first ballot, but he said Hall of Famer, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Anyway, I'm moving on from that. We'll get back to the chat. I don't think Mahomes is the MVP. He's certainly not wrapped up. He had a couple of touchdowns in the game, but he did plenty of bad plays too. Ran to sacks. Looked like a total douche nozzle.
Well, he does look like a ding, but that's the point is this. When the game mattered,
he's got Travis Kelce, dude. But
it wasn't just Travis Kelce. It was him moving up in the pocket, escaping, moving to the side, and then the dumb safety freaking took the bait like a ding dong, even though they had no timeouts left, which was stupid, and left Travis Kelce wide butt open in the end zone, and Mahomes threw it down a dime to him because he wasn't just looking at one guy like Aaron Rodgers does. He was looking at the whole field and finding where the open guy is. Where Rodgers just sits there and looks at Devontae, and then throws it away.
Come on, that's not true.
Dude.
Rodgers played pretty well. He had 4
he did not.
Yes,
he did not play that well.
I got the bad plays in the game, and I'll give them to you. You want the bad Rodgers plays? Here, I'll give them to you.
No, I don't want Rodgers yet. We're not going to go.
All right, fine. What are we going to go? I threw us off, so what are we going to go to here?
We got to talk about.
You want to talk about
teams? Special teams is. Listen, it's not like the Packers special teams has been good for 20 years. It's been crappy for 20 years. We haven't had a good special team since 1996. Then we had Keith McKenzie. We had Bernardo Harris. We had Lamont Hollandquest. And we had the secret weapon, Jeff Thomason. Those 4 guys were awesome on kickoff returns and punt returns. Those 4 guys were the reason why Desmond Howard had the angles. Now, we could still run the wedge back then, which is illegal nowadays. I get that. But still, those 4 guys worked as a unit, a wall of awesomeness that gave Desmond Howard the crease he needed to return all those kicks and punts and all that kind of crap and destroy everybody. And their coverage units were dang good as well. Because guess what? Those 4 guys, 3 freaking linebackers and a tight end, who were probably good enough to at least be second string or start on a lot of teams, were our backups on that team. Because Rod Wolf put together one hell of a damn good team that his backups were Lamont Hollandquest, Keith McKenzie, Bernardo Harris, and Jeff Thomason, 4 awesome dudes playing backup roles on special teams who were key special teams awesome dudes. Now, what do we got?
Those guys helped Desmond Howard make a lot of money too.
Hell yeah, they did. He wanted to make a bunch of money with the Raiders.
He better kick them back a little though, because Anyway,
but how in the world? Listen, I get it. Tyler Ervin is supposed to be the answer, right? You traded for him last year, or signed him in the free agent, whatever it was. You signed him in the offseason this year to re-sign him. And before that, we had Trevor Davis because he's fast, so he must be good at kick returns because he's fast, right? No, wasn't good. But it's not just the return guy. It's also the whole unit as a team, the players there, and the depth on this team, as we know from terrible drafts and the fact that all of our money is in like 6 guys. So you have to sign like guys you never heard of on the team. When your inside linebackers, your starting inside linebackers aren't good enough to start on any other team in the NFL. Christian Kirksey is slower than I am. You can't keep up. Why do they have him covering a wide receiver? A rookie Pittman. What is he doing? Why are we playing that zone? I don't get it. Whatever. I don't want to get into that.
Same
but
reason.
But special teams coach, we don't have good enough players on the back end, on the deep in our rosters to play and actually be a successful team. Or they don't know what the heck's going on. One or the other. I don't know. Or both. I mean, that like the kickoff return last week against Jags, that was just dumb. Guys being dumb and not doing like there's no, I don't know what that is. That was terrible.
Yeah.
But Darius Shepard, let's be honest. The guy is not an NFL player. He's just not an NFL caliber player. He lets balls jump off his face. He can't return things. He can't catch the ball. He runs okay routes, but who never knows? Rodgers would never throw the ball because he doesn't anymore. Never did. What is he? Why is he on the team?
I don't know.
I mean, you know what I would rather see? I would rather have them get Mike Pryor, who's probably 60 years old, bring him back just to catch a fair catch, a gosh dang punt. Because you know what? Remember when Mike Holmgren did that? Because we had no freaking punt returners he trusts before Desmond Howard, the year before Desmond Howard was there. And they were like, okay, we're going to take this old white safety who's slower than garbage, but I trust him to make the right decision, whether we let it go over his head or do a fair catch. And that's all Mike Pryor did that year, 95. Fair catch or let the ball go over his head on punt returns. Did we fumble any balls on play on that during that time? No. And was he even a starter on our team? No.
You know who was really good at punt returns?
Who?
Micah Hyde.
Well, yeah. Well, Micah Hyde was good at everything.
Personal friend of the show, Micah Hyde. We miss you, buddy.
What can they do about special teams?
I don't know. Both their kickers get injuries in the middle of the season, so they're not 100%. They're doing okay, but like Scott hasn't been putting that great. Mason couldn't even kick off for a while. I mean, he's still made like all of his field goals. He's got like 14, 15 in a row or something, but it's still, and those are the strengths. Like the coverage is not great, even when they cover, when they cover kicks, it's not great, but when they cover punts, it's not great. Their blocking units, they don't get any sort of returns whatsoever. It seems like, I don't know what their returners are trying to do most of the time. Most of the time they're doing fair catches on punts. Sometimes they get, a little bit of space, but there's never a hope of any sort of actual return.
No.
And there just never is. So they got a new special teams coach. Everybody hated Sean Squeezem, or what's his name? So what was his name?
Yeah. But this guy's Sean Menenga.
Menenga.
Get a guy that's not named Sean. Get anybody not named Sean to be your special teams guy.
Got to get somebody in there to clean that up.
I mean, Twizzlers a lot. I'm sorry. I got to stop doing that. That's not very professional.
Bernard says Tom Brady still sucks. Yeah, he looked pretty bad last night.
I didn't watch.
I would have enjoyed it had I watched it, but I just saw the highlights and enjoyed it afterwards.
Hey, you know who else isn't very professional?
What? Me? I'm not lately.
That Mark Davis, or what's his name?
I'm going to get to that when we talk about MVS. I'm going to get to it.
Well, let's talk about MVS then. That guy is not very professional.
No, I'm going to tell you that was one of the most disturbing and disgusting things I have seen as a former broadcaster.
It was pretty sad.
As a person, as a guy who through Hafeman Bros would like the opportunity to be able to be involved in Packers post game and Packers press conferences and interview the coaches and players and ask questions like we used to be able to do back when we worked in the TV station.
Yep.
Media members can love the team and get used to the team and all that sort of stuff, and they can be fans. But when they're doing their job, that's not okay. That's just not okay. Now, what we're referring to is after the game, Mark Daniels, if you listen to Matt LaFleur's press conference, and I don't know if he was the one that asked Rodgers about MVS too or for somebody else. But
somebody else asked, and then he brought up again.
But to LaFleur, he said it just like this. He was like, Matt, I'm just gonna ask you, how can you live with MVS? This is a guy from the press, the Green Bay Press. Or Wisconsin Press. I don't even know who he works for.
I think he's a radio guy or something.
But
something.
That's how he asks a question. That's not a media-based question. That's like a fanatic, fan, crazy, I'm mad. That's like somebody says on the radio show after the game.
That's if you have LaFleur on Cheesehead TV's like transplant show on Wednesday night where they're just kind of, shooting this stuff and hanging out and whatever. They might ask something like that, but they wouldn't ask it with that tone. That was the tone of this guy too. It was very pissed. Aggressive. Yeah. It was aggressive and angry tone, like not professional at all.
Now, the next day, I don't know if you got to see it, but if Marquez did his presser yesterday,
and he was in front of the media. He was great.
And he was awesome. He was awesome. And I have a lot of good things to say about MVS, and that's what I wanted to do as part of tonight's show because I don't like all this crap. All right, and we've said stuff about MVS. We've been hard on him at times.
Well, when he stinks, he stinks. I mean, what are you going to do?
Right. He's a professional athlete. The criticism is going to come if you blow it or you screw stuff up or you're just not playing right or whatever. But for that guy, Mark Daniels, in that instance, to come across that way, ask that question in that tone, completely inappropriate. At least he apologized to Marquez right before he asked him a question yesterday, but he kind of gave himself a little bit of an out. It wasn't like what he should have said is like, I was completely out of line yesterday, Marquez. The way I asked that question, I apologize. I'm sorry. That was unprofessional of me, and I'm sorry. But he kind of like ripped through it and kind of.
No, he said, hey, let me allow to do this so that everybody can hear me do it, is pretty much what he said. That's paraphrased.
Let me get this out of the way. Oh, I'm sorry. I was a jerk.
And then he asked a question that was not even related.
Right.
And then luckily for us, Marquez didn't even didn't respond to anything for his apology at all. He just answered the second question and did not, say one thing here or there about what his apology or what he had said the day before, which I thought was very good. I mean, he could have said, "Oh, that hey, I understand you're, whatever, upset." Or, I mean, well, the other thing earlier in the thing, somebody asked him about
he's in the media. He shouldn't be upset.
No,
He's
I know.
covering the game.
But he even said something about how he said that he doesn't have any ill will toward the press or anything like that, blah blah blah. Which is funny because he's like, you guys, you're doing your job. You got to do your job. And he's like, if somebody makes a mistake, then you gotta write about it or whatever it is. Kind of, he didn't say exactly like that, but something like that.
Sort of. I got to follow up on that when you finish. Are you?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Here's just an important thing I wanted to say, because a really smart coach once told me this. I was in a different sport, basketball, but she told me she used to talk to her players all the time because a bunch of the fans are always focused on the end of the game. And I'd do post-game interviews with her, and she would say, you know what? Like, we actually played fine at the end of the game, but what we didn't do is we didn't play well during this 5-minute stretch in the second quarter, and that's why we lost. So the fans oftentimes are going to get fixated on the end of the game. But she always stressed to her players, look, we got to be on it, do our best throughout the game, because you never know when those plays early in the game are going to come back either to your advantage late in the game or hurt you and make you in a disadvantage late in the game. And as media members, as people covering the game, they should be covering the game, the whole game, not just placating to fan bases that are thinking, oh, this is what the fans are going to be, really fired up about, so I'm going to drive on this thing. Because Marquez, his fumble, yeah, it sucked, okay? But also, two guys let one guy split him on the play. First off.
That was a great freaking play by that rookie.
And it shows you the difference, and I think maybe you're going to talk about that too, how other teams
I'm going to show you that. Well, I'm going to show you that play a little later on. I've got a couple of videos for it, just showing MVS stuff, but there's something that happened in that play that if the Packers would not, they moved. I'll go over it when we do it. But okay, go ahead and keep talking.
But anyway, so and on top of that, there were plays throughout the game that could have made the difference. So yes, did he make a mistake and fumble there? Yeah, but also I would say this. One question I had, Ben, because we talked about MVS, right? And yeah. I think he's a great kid. You've mentioned this, that how he's working hard, he's blocking all the time, he's running his routes, he's playing hard.
What's he running?
He's running his routes, and
what's he running?
And a lot of times he's not getting any targets, and he's still playing hard and doing his job to the best of his ability. To the best of his ability. Now, we also understand what he is for this team. He's super important for this offense. Don't even think you could be like, oh, let's get rid of him. No. He's the only guy that stretches the field for this offense. You saw it in that third down play that bailed him out of the big hole where Rodgers just like, screw it, chuck it up there. He's the only guy that could have made that play. And he made the catch in that traffic. So you have to have him on this team. And he's super, super, super important to the offense. But the offense now, with some of the injuries, they made him do things that probably weren't his strengths. And I thought now that Lazard was going to be back and they were full strength and that they were going to just say, okay, MVS, you're our stretch guy. We're going to do some different things with you at times, but really you're our speed guy to stretch the field. And then you block and do stuff like that. But to have MVS running the quick screen in that instance, is he the best guy to make that catch and make a move on somebody? No.
He's just as good as anybody else, other than the only two guys I would rather have, Devontae and Aaron Jones. That's it.
Okay, but he doesn't really change direction that well. He's a great straight line runner, but in terms of being shifty and all that stuff, that's not really his forte. It just isn't. So the Packers are having him do some things that aren't really his strengths. And we talked about that too, like coaching. You got to play to the players' strengths and have them do what their strengths are. And the other thing, and this was one of Rodgers' big mistakes in the game that I was really upset about, was on the first possession of the third quarter that was a 3 and out. It's a third down, and he tries going a back shoulder to Marquez.
Okay. I have that play too.
No, that's how Marquez is a fly guy. He's not, first of all, we've shown he doesn't adjust well to the ball, right? He doesn't.
He also had his guy beat. He wasn't beat, but he was in front of the defender was behind him. So there's no way a back shoulder throw would have worked there.
I mean, he had to put the brake. He had to be thinking that too, and put the brakes on. Like Jordy Nelson style or Devontae is now or whatever. But Marquez and him don't have that chemistry. They don't have that same sort of thing. Plus, if he's a guy that's like Marquez, run a goal ball every play, how is he going to do that? That's a mistake by Rodgers. That's a huge mistake by Rodgers.
Yeah,
that was dumb. Really, 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 really dumb.
Let's not talk about that play because we're going to talk. I'm going to show that play later.
Anyway, so utilizing him to his strengths, and yes, does he have strong hands going after the ball? Not like I'd like him to, but he does a really great job of catching in traffic if it's like a basket catch. Like he caught that bomb at the end of the game. Same thing. He was trying to get that where he got the PI. He probably would have caught that one too because it kind of dropped. It dropped right in on him. It was a perfect throw.
Yeah, but the
guy wasn't
his
holding his arm. He probably would have caught that one too. So to have that guy for this offense is vital, is crucial. And so people need to get off this. They need to understand what MVS is, and they need to understand how much good he's actually doing for the team, and that he does his damn job and doesn't complain. He doesn't get targets. He doesn't complain that he's, not getting the numbers and all this sort of crap. That's the way it is. So MVS is a great kid. He works hard, and he's valuable to this team. And the fact that some people over social and stuff are giving him death threats and stuff, like, get out of here. Just cut it out. It's just ridiculous.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's freaking ridiculous. It's a regular season game, first off, but even if it was a Super Bowl, that's freaking ridiculous. Cut it out. Stupid fan base.
All right, we've been talking for half an hour. We got to get some videos on here.
All right, get some videos in.
This is the pass interference for MVS.
All right.
Okay. I didn't slow it down. He's on the bottom here.
Ooh,
he's got one-on-one covered. He's super fast. This guy's scared. He grabs him. Blah, blah, blah.
And he had to lobby for the flag.
No, the flag was thrown earlier, actually.
All right,
see it on here.
Good.
Okay, now here's what I want you to watch. I'm doing this mostly for you, Jace.
All right.
So first I want you to watch Tunyon. This is what I like about this play. It's to give Rodgers enough time to get that ball away. Tunyon is going to chip on the defensive end before he goes out in his pass route, which is awesome.
Smart.
And I want you to watch your buddy Lukey Patrick, who has to do a one-on-one block against this dude because the double team's coming over here. He sticks with his guy and he's going back and forth, but he doesn't let him get past him. And it's pretty awesome. So first watch Tunyon get the chip block, which saves us because Billy Turner would get his butt kicked. And then watch Lucas Patrick do awesome against this guy on defensive tackle. So watch Tunyon first, and then quick move over to Lucas. Okay, go to Lucas. Watch him. Hold him. Oh, look at that. That was a long time. He had to do that one-on-one block. And see, the flag is already on the ground. It was thrown as soon as he saw his arm. So that guy read it earlier, and it was really good.
And was that the one after the play? He's like, what? Like, I don't understand defensive backs. Like, come on, dude. You hold.
Well, they got to do that.
Come on. They do not have to. They can have a little self-integrity and be like, yeah, okay, I did it.
All right. So, and here's another awesome thing. Here's another thing that's awesome. So this is the very next play.
Oh, yeah.
Touchdown to Jamal Williams. Why does this play work? MVS.
That's smart.
MVS takes his corner, does a quick in route as hard. He runs this route as hard as he can. And he does it, and he makes his corner scared. Because if he would have looked at the backfield, he would have saw that the ball is already gone. But he never looked in the backfield. He worried only about MVS. And then good old your guy Darius Leonard had to run all the way across this way. And then because MVS pushed his route all the way to the end zone, he had to go around to the outside, which gave Jamal Slow Butt Williams enough time to get into the end zone. This touchdown was MVS's touchdown. And it's because, and a little bit Robert Tunyon, because Robert Tunyon does the good job. He takes his guy here too, which also kind of makes Leonard go a little bit outside. But both these two guys, because of their inside routes, they force Leonard to go all the way around and miss Williams by like a smidge. And that's the difference in the game. So watch MVS run his route. He holds the guy, then he butts him. Look at him. He's butting him so that he can't get around, and he pushes Leonard back further. Then Jamal Williams is in the end zone.
You know that
he just posted him up.
I watched Darius Leonard's interview after, as well as post-game, so I wanted to hear what he had to say. And he said that's the first touchdown he's given up in pass coverage in his career in the NFL. Where his guy scored the touchdown. But I hate that man coverage from middle linebacker on the back anyway in the flat. The Packers got killed on that repeatedly in this game.
Not the flat.
Or they just didn't cover the back at all. Or
they just didn't cover the back. I'll show you what happened. It was pretty bad.
Okay.
Anyways, so that's just an example of what MVS can do. He gave you 50 yards of PI. The route he ran gave Jamal Williams enough time to get to the end zone because Darius Leonard is a very, very good middle linebacker, and he couldn't get a beeline straight to him. He had to go all the way around. And it was part-time Robert Tonyan too. But still, those are things, and we've seen all the other plays he makes, the great catches, the deep catch, the great catch at the end of the first half, some other plays where sometimes his job is to run as fast as he can so that Devontae can get underneath or somebody else can get underneath. Like that's his only job. And like we said last week, or actually it was even a couple of weeks ago, he was getting 1 or 2 targets a game. And Devontae is catching 16 balls and all this other crap. And he never complained one time. Not one time did he complain. And he still ran his routes as hard as he could. He still tried to block as hard as he could on run plays, all that kind of stuff. And that's why, like, I never had an issue as much with MVS with his effort, his want to. That's all great stuff. It's just his consistency that stinks. Like the biggest problem I always had was with Billy Turner because he just doesn't he doesn't try, he doesn't care, and that's the guy. That's where I have more of a problem with. Where I'll yell and scream about that.
Yeah, the people that wanted to make a huge stink about this fumble, they should have been. I mean, Billy Turner last week
before.
He was much better in this game. He still was Billy Turner at times, but he was he at least held up. At least he kind of got in the way of guys at times and sort of got blocked. Now, Bernard makes a good point. Well, Bruce says people should be put in jail for death threats. And I mean, there should be some ramifications. Yeah. They should be banned from the Packers facility for a year or something. Like, I don't care, something. And Bernard says it's a football game. Chill. That's right, Bernard.
No kidding.
We get fired up, but come on.
You know, that kind of stuff does kill you, as a fan. We know that. I mean, the NFC Championship game in 2014 was the worst of all time. And it was similar where the guy really, really screwed up. But on that play, he just didn't do his assignment. He did something totally different, which made no sense.
That's much worse.
MVS just
making a physical mistake.
And that's the other thing. Rodgers had a fumble exchange and a pick earlier in the game. That's 2 turnovers.
That was another one of his bad plays. That pick really made me mad because it was like, I'm going to follow up on a couple of Rodgers plays.
And how is nobody complaining about that? The other thing, Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee today. Yeah. And just one more thing about MVS. Rodgers was saying that MVS for receivers that have more than 25 receptions or more, he leads the league in yards per catch because he's got so many bombs, right?
Yep.
Since MVS has been in the league, he's got the 3rd most 40-plus yard catches of all receivers. So you're talking guys who are in there on every single down and
take
play
that,
all the
Julio
time.
Jones and whoever
he also has the 3rd highest yard per catch since he's been in the league. So for the last 2+ years.
Wow.
So, I mean and Rodgers got he got that from that Tom Clemens or Tom something, not Clemens, Tom something around, whatever the guy always tells him what's going on when he's doing his pressers and stuff.
Tom Ferris or something.
Sure, something like that.
I don't know, somebody.
But it's one of those things where you're like,
yeah,
I mean, his importance is that he scares the defense.
Yep.
Devontae doesn't scare the defense. I mean, at least not for like a big gain or something like that. MVS scares them, and that's something where, and the more he keeps like that PI at the end of the first half, the more teams see that, they're going to be like, listen, we can't leave him one-on-one. What the heck are we doing? We can't get back in time to catch him. We're going to have to at least get a safety back or whatever to help out. And the more they do that, hey, that's more room for everybody else to make plays.
Yep.
So I mean, we don't spend all day on him, but I do have another play I want to show, or a couple plays.
Yes, or other plays about something else?
Well, it's MVS, which will lead us to the offense.
All right.
So it's like a 2-1. You want to do that or you want something else?
Yeah, let's go. I babbled on too long already today, so let's go.
All right. Well, this is This video is called the right and wrong way to do a wide receiver screen. First, you have the right way. This is the Devontae Adams touchdown. You got MVS on the top of the screen. You got Allen Lazard in the inside, and you got it Devontae down here. He's going to be the orange arrow, goes for the touchdown. These two guys move in motion or move forward, and they block the two pink circles here. These two guys, and they hold their blocks just long enough so that Devontae can sneak in and get the first down. They do their jobs. All three of these guys do their jobs. And the best part about it is there's only these two guys here, and there's nothing really to worry about because all these guys are worried about what's going on over here because they're worried about a run. I don't know why, because Jamal Williams is in there, but whatever. Okay. All right, so here you go. Watch how this play works. It's beautiful. You got a block by Lazard. You got a block by MVS. Devontae squeaks in. Touchdown.
Woo-hoo.
Perfect wide receiver screen. Perfectly blocked wide receiver screen. And there you go. Now this is just the other angle on it. Unless there might be something else I put. I don't think so. I think
In
it's just,
perfect cursive.
yeah.
Any more brain busters?
They're dug out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's got to go back to Adam Sandler here. Okay, so now this one is the play, the bad play. But this is the reason why I want everybody to watch this, because this is the reason why it didn't work. Okay, this is very important. Most often we talk about how. Remember, I showed you a play last week where MVS moved in motion, and when he moved in motion, he brought the safety in the box, which actually then made Aaron Jones not get tackled earlier because there was nobody to block that guy because the motion brought a guy in the box, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Same type of thing, not exactly, but similar. On this play, this is MVS right here, if you see him, with this arrow, this little line that I drew that goes this way, and then he comes back. He goes in motion all the way across the formation and then comes back again before he gets that wide receiver screen. Mm. It's the same type of thing, except this time you got Tunyon and Lazard on the outside to block, okay? And what happens is this nickel back goes in motion with MVS. But once he gets to this side, he stays there. And Blackman, the safety, comes down to take his spot to cover in the slot. And then this safety goes back and takes deep safety spot.
Wow.
So you would think, and so think about that. That's even this. If these two guys, if Lazard and Tunyon would have gotten their blocks on this play, MVS would probably get a touchdown because it would have been just this corner and then Blackman at safety that were in the way over here. Because this guy gets back, but he comes back to about like on this hash. Maybe he could have caught MVS, but I doubt it. But the weird thing is, if this would have been the nickelback trying to get over here, I think Tunyon would have easily blocked him. But because it was Blackman, the safety, who's used to playing the run more and he's used to attacking things more, that was the downfall. So by moving MVS in motion and bringing the nickel all the way to this side and him staying there and having their safety switch positions, it actually caused the fumble. It actually made a guy who's more likely to make a play on that screen happen. And it's kind of sad that it was the motion that did it. So watch this. You'll see what I'm talking about. If it ever plays. Come on. What do we got? Okay, here we go. So you see MVS goes in motion.
That's crazy. Look at
that. And then look. And then the safety comes down.
The Packers couldn't do that.
And this safety goes back. And look at he's way over on this hash. So when he goes back in motion, he doesn't come back. It's just two guys. If Lazard and Tunyon get their blocks, that is a touchdown. That's a touchdown because MVS is fast enough to take it to the house.
Man.
So what happens? Neither of them make the play. You got the fumble. Blackman, goes in and crazy and all that kind of stuff. But if that would have been the nickelback, he would have never done that. He would have never split the double team and Lazard does like a half double, and then he kind of like, moves to the next level, right? And Tunyon, I don't think he's expecting that safety to crash like that,
right?
But the safety is so used to looking in the backfield, he sees that pass right away and just drives. And look, I mean, they're both there. There's really no. Right. Like if Lazard would have just stayed there and double teamed, MVS would have at least gotten
the first
5 yards, 5 yards or something. And I think he was expecting that because why would he expect anybody else to be back there? He's got both those guys in front of him like that. So who are you more mad at? The guy who fumbled or the guy who, I mean, Tunyon just totally blew his assignment. He blew his assignment.
Well, they both kind of did. I mean, I get
Yeah,
Lazard
but at least
Lazard was in better position to handle that guy though, based on how he attacked to split him and stuff. It's interesting, but I'm definitely more the more egregious errors on that play were made by those two guys and not.
But is it? But
MVS.
Yeah, but that's what I like. It's just crazy to think that had they just not moved MVS in motion, I think Tunyon would have been able to handle the nickelback, no problem.
I had no idea that happened on that play.
I didn't either until I just watched it today on the all 22 because you don't see all that stuff on the TV copy. You can't see all that stuff. So how is that rookie smart or whatever they do? He knew to move up.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
He knew to move up. Safety switched, and they were a man down on that side. They were one man less than what they were at the beginning of that play before MVS moved in motion, and that Blackman still made the play. So as much as everybody wants to get on MVS for things, let's be honest and say like, hey, he is really like that play by Blackman was amazing. I mean, that's what I love to see a Packer do. Just attack and destroy stuff. I mean, that was a great play. It was a great play that won the Colts the game. And that's just, there's nothing else you can really say about it.
Bruce wanted us to audible and go to Adams on there, but Roger said it after the game. He's like, it was a 2nd and 2. I just wanted to get the first down and maybe see if, he gets some extra yards. Great, but keep the chains moving and reset because he knew how important it was. Like the Packers had some of those drives where they went 3 and out and some other stuff. And then the stupid fumble and other crap happened. And then I was really pleased with their fourth quarter drives. And especially, of course, the heave out of whatever, but the one where they got stopped on the 4th down, it was like, that was a really good drive. Rodgers took what was given to him. He didn't press it. They just were like, okay, move the ball, first downs, let's go, distribute, mix in some run. That was a great drive. And I don't mind the 4th down call either. I mean, a lot of people are all worked up about that. Would you have preferred the Packers try to run it up the gut on 4th and short? I don't want to see that again because I don't trust them to get it. I don't trust the line to hold up.
That's why they passed on 4th down.
Yeah.
Bill Fleur's like, good God, my guys can't even get 1 yard in the game. They don't come off the ball. They don't like. I mean, what can LaFleur do? He can't trust his guys to get a 1 yard freaking play on 4th down running because they don't come off the ball. Then he can't trust his guys to get open on 4th and 1 because they don't, and they don't pick up the blitz either. So, and I think I have that play on here too. But you just mentioned I'm going to go to the offense. You just mentioned the third 3 and outs. I have both of the 3rd down plays on those 3 and outs. I want to show you. Okay, go ahead. Say
thing about the pick. The reason the pick bothered me so much was not was this reason, okay? Because they had a really good run to Aaron Jones. Great, okay. Then we run it again, but then we get a holding call that made it 1st and 20. Okay, so it's 1st and 20, and right as that happened, I was like, okay, Rodgers, just get some, positive chunk here, positive chunk. And Rodgers was trying to get it all at once because he thought he saw that whole shot between the safety and the corner. And here was Devontae out in the right flat, easily open for a 7-yard gain that if he got some more on the run after, perfect. But he tries to throw that shot and the corner just leaked back and took it, And I'm like, dude, you don't have to get like that one. That was a really bad play. It was a really bad play because it's 1st and 20. Just get just get a piece back.
If he actually would have put a little more air under it, because MVS had to stop and come back. Like if he would have put a little more air, it would have been a completed pass.
It was one of those, Troy Aikman talked about it during the broadcast that it was like the
corner. I know he didn't go with the,
what the coverage looked like was exactly like the 2 shell where you got the safety in the corner and you got that hole where you try to hit it between the hole, you know.
But the corner didn't bite on the inside route, and he jumped back. Yeah,
and they adjusted, or the coverage was actually disguised because the corner that wasn't his responsibility or something. I don't remember, but Aikman explained it really well on that point. Probably because he was rejoicing that Rodgers had an interception. But the point is,
that's not nice.
The point is, he could have looked there, okay, but then he could have saw Devontae like wide open in front of him and just little dunk, get like 10, 9, 8, 10 yards back, great, and let's go to 2nd and 10. But that's why it was such a bad play. Anyway, go to the next one.
Okay, well, these are both the 3rd down plays on the 3 and outs during the 3rd quarter. Okay, and what happened and whatever. What I want to show you is the play call. I don't know what this is. This looks like Mike McCarthy play call. It's 3rd and 4, and the red line is the first down marker. MVS is on the top of the screen, and he runs a streak route. Devontae's down here. He runs a streak route. Lazard is down here. He kind of, I don't know what he's supposed to do. He runs into is the guy who's covered him and then kind of flops around a little bit and then goes farther down. So he doesn't get, I don't know what he's doing. And the only guy is Robert Tonyan, who runs a 4-yard in or a 5-yard in. And he's still kind of covered, but that's probably where Rodgers should have threw the ball. But whatever. I mean, what is he supposed to do? There's one option. If for some reason they don't pick up the blitz, there's one guy on a short route to get the ball to. Everybody else is doing like a freaking 20-yard route on 3rd and 4. Like, is this Mike McCarthy? Did he come back from the grave and he's calling plays for us? Or what is this? So you watch the play, and then, like you said, Rodgers gets the ball. He has a good pocket. And, like, look at this. There's nobody here. Why is
Devontae, sit down.
Sit in the zone. Right. Like, why is he not sitting in the zone? But he's still running straight all the way. It's like a freaking crossing route or what, like a deep crosser. I don't know what this play is.
Okay, I see what Rodgers, MVS's guy is more upfield than him right now.
Right. Why is he throwing it back? Okay, yeah, you're right there.
But the point
is MVS.
It's MVS. Yeah, it's not Devontae. It's not Jordy Nelson. It's not.
Because he's cocking the ball right now. It's coming out already.
No, you can't assume he's gonna be. You just can't.
This is the one time where he should have lifted Devontae.
Right. Well, but he wouldn't have done him any good because Devontae's still running a field.
I know.
Why is it? I suppose
Tonyan is double teamed here.
I suppose he's trying to clear out for Tonyan there. Maybe is part of the root concept, but
I guess
weird.
But then why is he not looking for Tonyan?
But it's
Tonyan
also
would have been open right about here.
Like you said, it's also 3rd and 4. Why don't you just sit down, turn around, whoop.
Yeah.
Mark Chimura it and just whoop, sit down, turn around.
Well, the Packers don't do that. They don't even have routes like that.
That's dumb.
And that's what happened at the end of the game too. But I'll show you that in a little bit.
All right, we'll get through.
So we watched this pass. It's thrown deep. It's like whatever. He's, like you said, back shoulder. MVS ain't looking for it. It's a dumb play. It's a dumb decision. It's a dumb play call. Everything was dumb.
After
Not a single thing was good on that play.
And that was after the defense got just run it down their throats to open the 3rd quarter. I think the Colts ran it like 8 or 9 times in a row.
It's more important to get a first down right here. Get 4 yards. However you can, get 4 yards.
Or even to Jones right there. Flip it out to the flat.
Well, Rodgers doesn't like to do that. He likes
to
throw
that was kind of late and whatever, but still.
I don't think Jones would have got,
he might have got it. All right, let's
see. This is the second 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Okay? And the reason why this play doesn't work is because Darius Leonard is really fast. He looks like he's playing middle of the field or somehow covering Aaron Jones out of the backfield. And instead, he blitzes. He is the red arrow right here. He's just going to blitz. But he doesn't show he's going to blitz. He sits back 5 yards. And then as soon as the ball is snapped, he takes off. And he's like a bat out of hell, super fast. The route concepts here are Tonyan on the out in the flat. All you need is 1 yard, by the way.
Why are so many guys running routes?
I don't know. There's no protection. And then later on in the game, they only have 2 guys on routes, and everybody's in protection, and nothing good happens out of that. Remember, on 4th and 1. Right. So I don't know. They either have too many guys out with no protection, or they have no protection and or too many guys for protection and nobody in the route, and everybody's double teamed, because that's what happened on 4th and 1 in the 4th quarter, right? When they went for it. Okay. So then here you got the in route with Devontae, and you've got Aaron Jones coming out of the backfield. Now, there's a safety back here, and that's it. So all Devontae has to do is run, and they only need 1 yard.
This is the one he took a while. He took a while to get off.
Yes. Why isn't he just running straight like this? Just start running straight like this, and Aaron just drill it to him as soon as you catch the ball. That's a first down. But instead, he's running some kind of 5 yards and then does a slant. Well, he doesn't even do his break before Rodgers throws the ball.
And I bet he does his stutter juke hop before.
Yeah, he does. And then here's the part that's the craziest. This defensive end he does a full pressure first. Like, he goes forward, like he's going to go for the quarterback. And then he covers Aaron Jones. And he does a great job. And he takes Jones away. And that's where Rodgers tries to throw it, because he thinks, I got Aaron Jones and I got a defensive end on him. But this guy covers him great. And Darius Leonard comes flying through here like a bat out of hell, and there's nothing Rodgers can do. Because, I mean, you'll see it from the other screen on the protection-wise, but just watch the throw. Watch Devontae. Just watch how long it takes him to get going here.
Look, he hadn't even moved yet.
Okay,
Jesus.
Aaron Rodgers has the ball. He barely moved. So I don't know what he's looking at. His reflexes are terrible, but so is everybody else. Nobody else is off the line of scrimmage yet either.
Yeah.
The only guy moving is Aaron Jones. The ball comes out. Look at Devontae just did a stutter step in the ball. So, I mean, Rodgers could have thrown this ball right here. And Darius Leonard is coming, but he could have threw it like here. Like Phillip Rivers, I'm just going to say it. Phillip Rivers would have threw this ball here because he knows the coverage. This guy is back. There's nobody else here. He just watched Darius Leonard blitz. Well, throw the ball right here.
Like you said, he probably was looking for Jones first.
I don't care.
Because that's the easiest play. Devontae's kind of pulling the quarterback.
Well, you know how many times they've run Aaron Jones into the flat and gotten touchdowns and other things on it? That's the other thing. When are we going to attack the middle of the field? The Colts know that we don't. The Colts know we don't attack the middle of the field. Every pass is to the outside. Every pass is to the flat to the outside. We never throw to the middle of the field, and the Colts vacated it. Look at this. There's not a single guy anywhere in here. And why? They blitz their middle linebacker. Why? Because they know the Packers never pass it there. They're not even worried about it. Because they know Rodgers will not throw it there. Or they don't run routes there. They only run routes to the flat and out routes and slants, all on the outside.
Well, they run some of those deep in cutters that are like 15.
Deep, yes. But on 3rd and 1, they think they're going to get their blitz there. And they were right.
Yeah.
But even there, Devontae's still not even open, really. Look at him. He's still covered. And then this corner, and then the ball's kind of thrown a little bit wacky. And if it would have been a better throw, then maybe Aaron Jones could have had it. Aaron Jones is looking for it on the inside shoulder.
I think they said that one got deflected, I think, in the end.
It probably did.
But still, everybody's covered up really well.
Okay.
And so I remember him coming like crazy.
Oh, dude, it's faster. And I slowed it down. I should have left it at full speed but I didn't. But
let's do one quick shout out for Jenkins, who played center for most of the game.
Yes, he had a couple stinky plays though. And
I know, but
really, really bad. Like
bad
center
he
plays.
was. I mean, he's played every position almost. So and he had to take over that, which is a totally different job. Making the line calls, doing everything else. So give him, a guy that can do that. Pretty valuable. Goody's best draft pick by far, I think.
It was. I mean, it is. So on this play, you're going to watch because Bakhtiari's going to go out. I want you to watch Bakhtiari first, and then I want you to watch Runyon. Runyon does his best to try to get back because he kind of sees him out of his peripheral. He must, and then he tries to get back, but it's too late. But first watch Bakhtiari. Then switch your eyes over to Runyon, try to pick up the blitz. But there's nothing he can do because Bakhtiari's got nobody to block.
Right.
Because the guy looks like, watch him come. Watch the defensive end. He comes hard, and then he just backs. Boom. Look at that. So Bakhtiari's got nobody. Runyon's like, crap. I got to get over there and help out. Too late. Rodgers throws it. He knows he's going to get hit, so he doesn't want to get hit. And it gets blocked.
There.
Yeah. And it's just – and it's all because the Colts know. We can vacate the middle of the field. We got no worries. Remember how many passes Jimmy Graham got in the middle of the field last year and dropped? Why are we not running those plays? Where are the plays for Tunyon that Jimmy Graham got last year in the middle of the field? I want to see some of those because I haven't seen them. I'm getting sick of this. Throw to the outside. Throw to the outside. Slants to Devontae. Wide receiver screens. No more. You think the Bears are going to they're going to know what's going on?
Maybe.
They're totally going to know.
Maybe.
They're going to know. But I got one more offensive video, but I don't know if you want to talk about something first or what.
All right, my other message.
Hey, Jody Hafeman, that's our dad's cousin, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's saying that we're like Wayne Larrabee and Larry McCarron. And I'm telling you right now, I'll be Larry McCarron because I don't ever want to be considered.
You're talking the gray hairs.
If that was a compliment, I'll take it. My finger's not as messed up, but I do have, I will say this. One of my pinkies is much shorter than the other. Can you see that? See how, isn't that weird? Because this one, I broke it. I sprayed it playing basketball. I went to catch the ball, and I sucked at catching, and then it hit me right in the pinky, and then I busted my pinky.
Dang, you should have made up that was a football injury. It'd be better for the show and the ratings.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, okay, it was a football injury when I was playing center, and my nickname was The Rock.
It's probably just the gray hair that's making Jody say that to begin with.
Well, hey, thanks for checking us out. And hey, if it's a compliment, I like it. If it's not a compliment, I still kind of like it because, hey, we'll take it.
I do have one other bad Rodgers play. The other play that bugged me was, and he said this after the game too, that he made a bad throw. He missed a throw to Tunyon where, would set up the 4th and 1 because Tunyon was clearly open for the first down. And Rodgers' throw pulled him back where he was short of the first down, and he's right on the sideline. And then they had the 4th and 1 play. I was just so bummed about that drive because that was such a good drive. They were doing everything they needed to do. And it was after, 3 and outs in the third quarter, never touching the ball, defense getting run up and thrown all over the place, and the fumble on the kick return. It was after all that stuff, and here they are putting together the perfect drive that they need. It was like, yes. And then, a couple of miscues and the 4th down and I don't know. And in hindsight, okay, do you have Mason kick it there? And then maybe maybe you can have that field goal to win the game instead of tie the game at the end of the game. I don't know, but
I think
whatever.
I think LaFleur was like, listen, we are finally moving the ball. I do not want to give this ball back to the defense or to the Colts.
Yeah.
And I think we can get 1 yard. Like, I got a play that I think we can get 1 yard. Problem was the play was terrible. Because even on that play, that 4th and 1, I don't have it, the video of it, but Tunyon was double teamed on that play. Devontae was double teamed on that play. Like, they had 5 guys in coverage. The Packers only had 3 guys out in the route.
They were banking.
They didn't pick up the blitz. Nothing worked. The play was a disaster.
They were banking. They were banking on the fact that the Colts were going to bite that it was run, and somebody's going to be wide open off the action. But it didn't happen that way because guys stuck to their assignments. Ooh, that'd be a thought. But
hey, don't be mean.
I know I get kind of snarky, but damn, the defense just looked so pathetic at times.
We're not on the defense yet. We got one more offensive play. Here we go.
God, they made me want to cry sometimes.
All right, this is the end of the game, end of the regulation. Okay.
I know Tunyon. Well, actually, Tunyon wasn't open until after he looked and threw that way. So.
Okay, this is the play before that.
Oh, okay.
Which is another Tunyon play that he should have gotten earlier, but Rodgers double pumped it before he finally freaking threw it too late like a ding dong. Now, here's another play where it's what is it? It's 2nd and 10. Here you got a streak route
because spike it.
Lazard. You got a streak route. You got a streak route. Whatever it is. All these guys, boom, boom, boom. They're all going to the end zone, running straight. This is the Mike McCarthy offense. And then you got Robert Tunyon on a 5-yard slant, which is actually more of an in route for some. He kind of did an in route because he ran it like straight in. I don't know why.
They still had quite a bit of time here, by the way. So
right, and that's the thing. It's really
have to run
disturbing.
Everybody. Yeah, you didn't have to run everybody to the end zone on this one.
Right. And all 3 of these guys I'm showing in blue, they all just back out 5 yards, back out, and cover for, because the first down marker is the 5-yard line. So they're going to the first down marker and looking for something in the end zone too. This middle guy is the one his job must be to take the inside guy or the guy who's low or whatever it is, because he ends up going to Tunyon, but he goes back first. And if Rodgers would have went 1, 2, 3 or catch the ball and throw it to Tunyon, he would have caught it I'm going to say something else. He would have caught it in stride and would have ran for some yards. When was the last time you saw a Packer guy catch the ball in stride and run for some yards besides MVS's touchdown last week with the Jags? It doesn't happen. Like, they don't run plays and it's bubble screens, it's out routes where they're by the line of scrimmage and they end up running out of bounds right away. Like, there's no catch the ball in stride and run. Like, why not? What is going on? But anyways, so watch this. You're going to see Tunyon's wide open. There's 40-some seconds left. Throw the ball right away. Just throw it. He's there. Look at this. Throw it now. Throw it now. Hit him. There's nobody within 8 yards of him. He's in motion. He's got his momentum going. He could have caught the ball, went straight up the seam. He wouldn't have scored probably. There's enough guys here to probably catch him. But he might have got a first down on the play. And then they could have spiked it and they would have had 2 more plays. But instead, watch Rodgers. He's looking at him. I don't know what he's looking at. Maybe he's looking at Devontae. Maybe he's looking at MVS. I don't know what he's looking at. But watch Rodgers. He's going to double clutch once or twice and then finally throw it to Tunyon. When he's stopped here, Tunyon's got to catch it. He moves backwards. He has to turn back around again because he had to come back and look at the ball to catch it. And then by the time he turns around, there's 2 guys in his face and he still makes the guy miss and gets 7 yards, which is pretty awesome actually. But he could have had way more yards if he would have threw it in motion or right in the play. Look at Rodgers. Pump fake. Then finally throws it off his back foot. Then Tunyon catches it, stops, almost slips, makes this guy miss, runs through another guy. There's like 8 freaking Colts there to catch him. And then he's like, oh, we got to stop. And then what happens? 30 seconds come off the clock because Rodgers is calling the play. And this is the play he calls. This is not a LaFleur call. This is a Rodgers call.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I know? Because he said so on Pat McAfee today. Because he said he was the one who told everybody what to do. And he said he called a mirror route, which means he called the same route on both sides. And he just has to pick a side and go. And that's what he did. He called the slot receiver to go to the corner of the end zone on both sides. You got Robert Tonyan doing the slot corner. You got Devontae doing the slot corner. You got Lazard doing a in route. Why? I don't know. Because by the time this ball gets snapped, there's 12 seconds left and no damn timeout. Why do you have a guy running a route that's not going to get him in the end zone? I know he's trying to do this to make this open up back here, is what he's probably thinking. And same thing here. But then, how about if we leave Jamal Williams in to help block? What is Jamal Williams going to do over here in the flat with 12 seconds left and no timeouts? Because he's not going to catch it and make anybody miss. He's just not going to. So this is a terrible play call. And I get it. I mean, you had 30 seconds to come up with the play. And he's telling the guys what to do by hand signals and telling them or whatever it is, right? It's not, I mean, I understand. It's not easy. Here's the other thing I want you to look at. The reason why I did these zigzags and zigzags, that's how many times Devontae does a double move to try to get open before he gets to his actual corner route. He does 2 double move zigzags, which slows his butt down. And by the way, doesn't get him open because the guy does not bite on either of them.
Yeah.
While Tonyan just runs straight and goes to the corner and he's wide open. Now, Rodgers
he's looking that way and starts to throw, but
no, he's open. Yes, but
Adams didn't. I noticed that right away. Adams didn't run this. He didn't look like he was running this to win the route. I
want you to watch Devontae on this play. Right. We all know what happens. We know Tonyan gets open. We know all this stuff. But the other thing is just these routes. This route, the ones in light yellow, they don't matter. He cannot throw any of these guys those routes.
It would have made more sense to have the guys basically run like at the same depth.
Scissors. Yes, run scissors. That would have been better because they would have picked each other.
Right.
They would have picked each other. One way or the other. Somebody would have got picked and somebody would have got open. But these guys, these in routes, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah,
he can't throw those passes because if they catch them, it's going to be like, it just doesn't make sense. And this guy's been in the league for 13. He's been 16 years, 13 years as a starter.
I'm sure he was thinking keep those guys short so the other corners don't back off into the, so this corner up here doesn't back off into where Devontae's going, and that corner doesn't back off into where the other guy's going.
I understand the thoughts, but you have to think of what you've got.
Right. But if they're in man coverage, which it appears they are, then you want to run those almost at the same depth so you can have kind of that pick action right there. All right, let's watch it.
Just watch Devontae.
All right. I know I'm already disappointed.
He does 2 double moves or double pumps or whatever he does. Where he does
go on. Go. Stop. Go back. Look at how long it takes him to get off the ball.
I know. I saw it.
Oh, my God. Rodgers has the ball, is taking a couple steps back, and Devontae still is just getting off the line of scrimmage.
Well, look at Tonyan. He's still not even moving either.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's not even freaking past the line of scrimmage.
Well, they were all pretty tired by this point, but still.
I know.
Come on, man.
But the worst part is Aaron Jones isn't in the game at this whole drive. Did you see him? He had 2 double moves. Were you watching it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and play it. Just do that again. So he gets slow off the ball, and he does 2 double moves. Here's his first one right here. Boom. Then his second one is going to be right about at the 2-yard line. Boom. Then he finally goes out, and the guy doesn't bite on either.
He's got nowhere to go.
And then Rodgers has got he couldn't beat his guy. But Rodgers never looks to the other side. But the reason why, I'll show you. On this play, when you watch the protection. Now, this is what I said he should have called for protection. Okay?
Yep.
Because Billy Turner is going up against who? Justin Houston, a well-known Pro Bowl freaking pass rusher who's been in the league for many years, and he's been in a bunch of Pro Bowls, got a crap ton of sacks. You think Billy Turner is going to be able to block Justin Houston one-on-one? Hell no. You got Jamal Williams in there. You better have him help, right? That's what I would do. I would have had everybody. If you want to have everybody else do the other routes, that's fine. But keep Jamal Williams in there to help for God's sake. You got Lucas Patrick going one-on-one here. He does okay. You got a double team with Runyon, Bunyan, and Jenkins on Bruckner or whatever that guy's name. The really good guy they got from the 49ers who's awesome. Yeah. And then Bakhtiari can handle himself. You know that he's a freaking highest paid freaking tackle. If you can't, something's wrong. Okay. That's what should have been the protection on this play. But it wasn't. For some dumb reason, he called Jamal Williams to go into the flat. And then it ended up being this. It ended up being Houston goes straight forward. Billy Turner takes a step out, and then Houston's like, see ya. Bam! 20 miles an hour inside to kill frickin' Rodgers. And there's nobody there to help him out. Jamal Williams is already over here by that point, and that's the end of it. And Rodgers has got to throw the ball away. And it's because Billy Turner sucks. Rodgers should have kept the protection in. And yeah, watch this. One move in, gone. And that's in slow motion. And look at Bakhtiari. Even Bakhtiari got his butt kicked.
Yeah.
And Rodgers got nowhere to go. The only guys who did good Lucas Patrick schooled his guy, and then the double team did pretty good. But the outside guys couldn't even do anything.
Bakhtiari did not.
The end of that.
For after signing a big fat contract, he did not play that great this week. He's it might have been not well spent money again by the Packers.
No. And Bruce is saying that he should have thought about getting out of the pocket, but Bruce, you just saw there was no time.
Where was he supposed to go?
Well, there's nowhere. Well, he doesn't. Bruce does. He doesn't.
Unless he did the Favre spin move right there, drift him back 20 yards, and spin back, turn your back, run around like this for a while.
Favre would have got away, dude. Favre would have got away.
Or he might have lost, or he might have taken a sack out of field goal range. You never know.
Favre would have got away.
Or he might have taken a sack that got him out of field goal range.
He would have done that too, yeah. And they wouldn't be able to kick a field goal. I know, yeah. All that stuff happens.
I mean, Rodgers knows he's got the field goal there, so yeah, he had to get rid of the ball.
So what I just showed you was, the reason why I wanted to show those plays was because of on third down, when they need a first down, they're calling all these streak routes or deep passing routes and one guy who's an option to get the ball quick. And they can't pick up the blitz. They've showed you many times. They don't know how to pick up a blitz. They don't know where it's coming from. They don't know why it's coming from. They don't know how to fix it. Even if they do know where it's coming from, they still can't block it right. So why would you have three guys going deep and one guy on a quick route? It's dumb.
Yeah.
And then here, when you watch this, Rodgers doesn't throw the ball to Tanyan on his inside route. He double clutches twice. Then he wastes 30 freaking seconds telling everybody what to do.
Well, it was their last down, really.
I understand that.
Unless they got the first down and all that stuff, because at first I thought that was a really bad play too, because he was checking and doing all this. I'm like, just get the play off. What are you doing? But then I was like, oh wait, it's third down. So if you don't get the first down here, you got to kick. So fine, so I wasn't as hard on him after that, but I was kind of mad at first when I was watching it.
But he pretty much just called a route.
Yeah.
For Devontae and for Robert Tonyan, and that was it.
Yeah.
And if they didn't beat their guys, or if it didn't fall just right, and didn't look at the right side, he had one guy to go through again. There was no progressions. When you watch Phillip Rivers, I mean, you know what else? Watch Derek Carr. Derek Carr on Sunday night was in. There was one play where he went boom, boom. He went through 4 different progressions and then through to the fourth guy. It was awesome. It was awesome to watch Derek Carr. He looked amazing. And I understand this is at the end of the game, and I get it. But like even otherwise, Rodgers will just sit there and he'll beeline on somebody, and he'll sit there, and then he doesn't have enough time because the guys can't block, he can't pick up the blitz, and then he's just got to throw it, and he doesn't even look over any place else.
Well, that's the other part I was going to ask about. But first of all, I don't know if Derek Carr looks that good every week, but if he does, then I don't know what the heck the Raiders are doing, thinking about getting a different quarterback, because he looked awesome. But the one part is, and this kind of leads me back to the back shoulder of the MVS. Also, Aaron Rodgers watched the film last week. He saw Billy Turner play atrociously bad.
You should have heard what he said about him today on Pat McAfee.
And he trusted
he was a key contributor.
He trusted Billy Turner to hold up on that play to give him enough time. Like, I get it. You got to trust your guys, but you also have to live in reality and be like, these guys have some serious limitations. So I got to help them out by Jamal, you're going to chip block there because we know he's going to need it to give him that extra help. Like, if Aaron Rodgers is as smart as he is supposed to be, then he also needs to be smart enough to realize the limitations of some of his teammates, what they can do, and not ask them to do stuff they can't do. Like in Billy Turner, in MVS's case, it's okay. Read his mind and expect the back shoulder. But in Billy Turner's case, it's block a guy in front of him. He has to understand that's probably not his strong suit. So help him out.
His strong suit is not to block the guy in front of him. That's also his job. So we're in trouble. Good God.
He was better than last week, but he's still not good.
There this week.
Not even serviceable. He's not even Bulaga. He's not even on par with Bulaga at this point, and that's sad.
So I don't know.
All right. Well,
you got any other transitions? I don't want to.
We've gone on a lot longer than I thought. I didn't think I was going to talk that much. I apologize.
I got two more plays. I got two more freaking things to play.
I know. I apologize for talking so much tonight. I apologize. Bernard says that.
That's okay.
Bernard says A-Rod's still the GOAT. And he says, Ben, you're the GOAT too.
Well, is that because I used to have a goat? Remember?
No, he thinks
I had a really long goat. I grew it because Lane Staley was my favorite singer from Alice in Chains, and he had a long goat that he braided, and I grew it. Just so you know, I grew it for like a year, and when it wasn't braided, I grew it. It was like this long. It was like a good almost 4 inches, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna braid my goat, and I'm gonna have like just like Lane Staley because his was like 6 inches long when it was braided." And after you braid your goat, that's 4 inches long, it turns into about a centimeter long. Because all those braids actually shrink it up to like 1 million. So when you see those Lord of the Rings movies with Gimli's awesome beard braided, his real beard, before they braid that sucker, has got to be like dragging down to the toes. Because that's one heck of a braided beard. And I'm telling you right now, it's not easy to braid a beard unless you're going to grow that sucker super long. It doesn't happen. I don't know how I got out of that. But yeah,
that was a long, I'll say that was a long year, but not a long goatee.
It was, as long as it didn't braid it.
It was a long year for you to grow it, but not really that long of a goatee. Thanks, Bernard. I appreciate you throwing that in that I'm the go-to. I appreciate that. But I know Ben's your favorite, and that's okay. That's not a problem.
Listen,
that's okay.
Why? Because I am the crazy weird guy. You're the one who actually like took, you're actually like a professional of some kind. You actually went to college for this sort of thing. I'm just a guy who showed up one day and said, "I like football. Let's study some football. This is cool."
It's true that I went to college. I would not call myself a professional, but
you got paid.
I did.
Hey, I got paid. I went to a Packer game and covered it, and I got paid one time too. So as long as I'm also a paid professional who has covered the Packers in person.
And we did the story nobody did until later that week because it was a preseason game and it was Allen Rossum's debut on the Packers, and he was awesome in the return game, and nobody else covered that story after the game, but we did. And then all of a sudden later in the week, like Wednesday, Thursday, the Green Bay media was like, "Hey, did you know Allen Rossum?" Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, "Yeah, we did that story already. Take that, Green Bay media. Eau Claire beat you. Boom."
That was the last time the last time we had a good kickoff punt returner was Allen Rossum.
Yeah. He kind of faded.
No, Micah Hyde.
Oh, that's right. Don't diss my man. Don't forget about my man Micah.
I can't forget.
We're going to see him in the Super Bowl this year. Bills, Josh Allen, and Micah Hyde. Super Bowl.
I don't know.
Packers.
I think it's going to be the Raiders, dude. The
Derek
Raiders
Carr
look
great.
Good.
Dang.
Derek Carr looked amazing.
He looked
really good.
I wanted him to be my cornerback watching him play. I wanted him to be my quarterback. I was like, maybe we can.
He is. He's on your team.
Let's do a trade.
By the way, I got Taysom Hill if you want to trade. I don't know if we can still trade anymore.
I got Derek Carr now. He's the best quarterback I've ever seen.
He's
after
pretty
Sunday.
good. He's pretty good.
On fantasy, I picked him up and I was like, wow, now he's great. I'll take him. The Bears still suck, Bernard. We'll see. We'll talk about that
on Friday. We'll see.
All right, Ben's got a couple more plays. Let's go. Play.
All right, we're moving the defense. Here we go. Moving the defense.
Oh, let's not spend too much time. We know it's bad. We know it's
Remember
terrible.
how we talked about how, hey, it would sure be nice if we had a guy who just kind of ran an 8-yard route and then turned around and caught the ball? The Colts are smart enough to do that, by the way. Because on this touchdown play, on 2nd and 6, this is the touchdown in the third quarter. After the second long drive that after the first 3 and out the Packers had. You look here, they got the the running back going in motion over this way, and that takes whoever this, I don't know this corner. It's probably Kevin King. He goes out here, and he has to worry about that flat.
We were so glad he was back. He was a difference maker.
Right. And then you got Adrian Amos is got to come back and cover nobody in the end zone here. And then don't die. Don't choke on your drink. Okay. And then
the Packers are one of the only teams that are like, we're going to have guys stand here where nobody is.
Well, the reason why is remember last week when Darnell Savage didn't go back and do that and that cost him a touchdown? So this week they're like, Adrian Amos, make sure you go back and do what Darnell Savage didn't do last week because it's going to cost us. So then the Colts are like, hey, instead of us run that inside slant, let's have us run the quick in.
Except if the guys get to the goal line as a touchdown. So you covering like 8-9 yards back does nothing. Okay, go on.
Bernard's not going to be there. Oh, Bernard.
Bernard's not going to be there on Friday?
You can watch it later.
All right, Bernard.
Okay, in purple here, this is our good buddy, Christian Kirksey, who is on, at the moment, if you look at here, he is on the goal line. But when this ball is snapped, he goes backwards into the end zone before he comes forward again.
Ugh.
And this is the worst part. Poor Raven Green, who's the only guy who seems to be able to make plays on our team on defense. Yep. They leave him out in no man's land where he has to cover both of these two guys who run the exact same route on either side of him. And he does a good job, actually.
I know.
Because he's got to pick both of them, and he waits till the ball is thrown, and then he tries to get in front of the ball, and he's just a little bit late. But this coverage leaves Raven Green to cover two guys. I mean, and I understand the route combinations. You're thinking he's going to go somewhere else or whatever it is. But why they would have Kirksey in the middle of the field this far back and go backwards, I don't know. But here we go. We're going to watch this play. It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown to the tight end right here. He's going to go over here, turn around, catch a touchdown. It's the easiest touchdown anybody can ever throw. Packers don't have this play. They just don't. I don't know why. Because Rodgers won't throw it probably because he's too afraid about getting picked off. Raven Green goes to the outside because he knows someone's got to cover the flat. The ball's thrown, touchdown. Nobody's there. Raven Green's got to cover two guys. And there's Adrian Amos standing around back just looking at everybody. And Raven Green's like, what am I supposed to do? How can I cover two guys?
I want to know before you let it go here. Pause 1 second.
I'm seeing if I wrote something on it. Here we go. Okay.
I just want to know what Christian Kirksey is looking at here, because you really only need to defend where there are players from the other team.
Right.
So if there's two players over to your right, but nobody in that whole area, unless he's worried about the run, but then why is he backing up as his first move? Because you have to stop him, like I said before, stop him from getting to the goal line or it's a touchdown. So going backwards, if he stays at the goal line and just moves laterally there, fine. But backwards first, why?
And you could say maybe he's looking at the running back, okay, in case he goes this way. But Shannon Sullivan is right here. Yeah. And since this guy went in motion, Shannon Sullivan his assignment would be here because guess what? Savage and Jair are on the outside, cover the two receivers on the outside over here. Okay? And you got the tight end in line. You got this guy over here, and you got the back. And you got Kevin King here, right? Kevin King's job is probably to take this it's like I don't know what it is, this slot flat or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And like I said, Amos drops back. Kirksey's going to go back and then come forward. Raven Green is going to move this way. Like, there's nobody here in the middle of the field. And then because of the way these guys run this route, poor Raven Green is like, oh, crap. And then he doesn't know what to do. And he tries to cover two guys. So he runs. And I think immediately he's looking. I don't know what he's supposed to do.
Okay, why is Kirksey going back there? Why?
I don't know. There's nothing here. There's no.
Go help him at tight end. He's right in front of you. Like,
yeah.
What do you?
There's no reason. Because the back went this way. So if anything, he should be moving forward and looking for this tight end.
Yeah, Kevin King's going Green out for the flat there.
I'm thinking Raven Green is expecting him to be there to help him.
Right.
And Kevin King is bouncing the guy in here. He's giving a chuck first, which is cool. And he's going to go cover the flat, which works. And poor Raven Green is like, crap, I don't know what to do. I got two guys next to me. I'm going to try to get my hand in there, and he doesn't.
There you go. You can tackle him after he's in the end zone. That's
do you get a tackle?
Not helpful.
Do you get a tackle for tackling somebody after they're in the end zone?
No. No.
Okay, that would be bullcrap if you do.
But that is not helpful when you let him get in the end zone and then you tackle him. You got to stop him from getting to the end zone. That's the point.
Okay, so now this is the 2-point conversion right after that.
Sorry.
Now, I have this line here because this is the left guard, okay? In front of him, this line is usually that you would have divide the play in half, right?
Yeah.
But because of the way they have this play, I divided it off the left guard because there is a tackle, there is a tight end, and there's 2 receivers. And this play is going to be a run to this side. So there's 4 guys on the outside of the left guard to block these 3 guys. That's 4 on 3.
That's not good.
That's not good. And the other thing that happens is the tight end does a really good job, and the tackle, of sealing off here and pushing over. So even though you've got Kirksey actually jumps the inside for some dumb reason, and then Kamal Martin has to try to get all the way out to the outside to make a tackle, and of course he doesn't get there. It's 2-point conversion. So let's watch how genius this is, having 2 on 3. So you see Kirksey jumps in, and there's this big wall of mass, and then Kamal Martin's got to try to get out there, and he doesn't, just misses him. And then it's 2 points. And that 2 points really mattered because we would have won. And when you watch it from this angle, it's even worse because you'll see these 4 guys just do a great job. They just seal off this whole side. Everything here is sealed off. This guy gets a great block. This guy gets a great block. And Kirksey, for some reason, takes this inside route. You know, he sees a hole and he takes it, but there's really nothing there because these guys do a wall. They don't really leave a hole. Like the play is designed to go all the way to the outside. And then the worst part is Kamal Martin, he goes to about here, and then he stops and gathers himself, and then he first moves again. If he would have continuously went with the back the whole way, because the back never does that. The back just goes. If he would have just went with the back the whole way, he probably would have been there to at least try to make a tackle on him. But he stops. So watch Kamal Martin. So watch right here.
What does Kirksey think he's going to do?
I don't know what Kirksey thinks he's going to do. But the running back does not slow down at all. But Kamal Martin does slow down and hesitates.
Double teamed. He's trying to keep the edge.
Yeah, he's trying.
Cracked back on.
Yep. And Kevin King's getting his butt kicked by like T.Y. Hilton. No, that's Pittman, who's a big guy. So I get that. And Amos is playing patty cake with 14, whoever that guy is. So there you go. That is called your inside linebackers stink. That's what that's called.
A position we really value, man. Really value.
And it comes down to, okay, what is the best thing to do here? How can we possibly make a play or do anything to stop this stuff from happening again? And the bottom line is, I don't know. Because these guys don't take the right angles. They don't attack. They hesitate. They do all kinds of dumb stuff. Which makes no sense.
Lee's here. How you doing, Lee?
Hey.
Kirksey looks slow and bad. Kirksey's a nice guy. And it's great that the Packers want a bunch of nice guys in their team. But we need some guys that are a little nasty on defense, too. Especially on defense, we need some nastier guys. And we don't have too many nasty guys, and they play passive, and they don't play aggressive, and it shows. They don't play physical, and they have a team come out and run on them 9 straight times to start the half and be successful. And again, like, picture this, Ben.
Yep.
Let's say the Packers meet up in the playoffs against the Saints. And let's say Drew Brees is back, but Sean Payton's like, you know what? I think we're going to run it like 60 times this week. So let's play Taysom Hill at quarterback most of the game. We'll bring in Drew once in a while when we want to pass. What is that going to look like? Because pretty much every team that commits to running against this defense can do it. They just can do it. And if the Colts wouldn't have gotten called for 1,800,000 holding calls during the last 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing I ever like.
But they were all legitimate holding. Like, See,
I
when
know.
it was like, dude, would you stop holding everybody? What they must have been so tired from those long drives in the third quarter that they're just like, and they're grabbing and holding guys. I'd never seen it. I've never seen holding call, holding call, holding call, holding call, like 4 in a row like that. That was totally nuts. And then the Packers still somehow after the one gave up a first down, but got enough of it to get the ball back and get a chance and all that good stuff. But if they didn't have all those holding calls, they still could have kept running all over him. So I don't know. Jonathan Taylor had been struggling, had been in the doghouse, and he comes out this game and the Packers make him look like a super stud. That was nice for my fantasy week, but he's probably going to suck again next week because he's not playing the Packers defense. So I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. Other than the other part that's crazy is that it doesn't seem like these defensive pieces fit together very well. That's what looking more and more at it. I look at Kevin King and the type of corner he is, which, I don't think is very much, but the things that he does do well, how do they really fit with what the Packers defense is trying to do? I don't see it. And then the linebackers don't work. And then you got like the Smiths who just want to try to rush the passer and all that stuff. But I mean, they just don't fit together. Like most teams when they're building a defense, they find all the pieces to fit together. I don't see how these pieces fit. It's not a puzzle that fits to me. If I'm wrong, please tell me.
You're not wrong because I got a video to show you.
Oh, no.
The last video of the day.
I want them to fit. I want them to be better.
This video.
They played with more fire early in the game in this one. Zadarius Smith was actually kind of playing with some effort. Savage was being a little more active. Those are all good things.
He plays with effort. He plays with too much effort sometimes.
But then they went to again. All right, what's this?
This is 3rd and 19 in the fourth quarter with 2:04 left in the game.
Oh, no.
I'm just showing it because it's the classic screen pass. Zadarius is going to get there and has no awareness at all. So Zadarius is the yellow. He's going to beat his right tackle to the inside, and he's just going for it. Quarterback. He's like, I got it. I'm going to quarterback.
No,
Quentin Nelson right here.
He had a rough game, by the way.
He did, but he did good on this play because he schooled the crap out of this guy, and he went Kenny Clark. He smacked the crap out of him, and then he went up here, and that's why I know it's a screen pass because you watch him and he lets him go right away. This goes out, and Kingsley Keke is right here. He reads it's a screen pass, but this time he actually has a guard who's pretty good on him, and he does not let him go. He I don't know if he's holding him or what, but he's hanging on to him, and he's not letting him get by him. So Keke does it what he always does. He sniffs out the screen, but he just can't get off the block.
Good old Z. Look at him.
So, yeah, and watch Zadarius. He's going to just beeline straight to he's like, quarterback, quarterback, Look at there he goes. Oh, yeah, I got him. Okay, there you go. Look at Quentin Nelson's already let go of his guy. Kiki's knows the back. Look at Kiki's read the back, has got it. And this guy's holding him, but they aren't going to call it. And Zadarius is like, I got the quarterback. Yahoo! And then the quarterback's like, I don't have the ball anymore, dummy. And then Kiki's getting shoved over here. He can't get off the block. Quentin Nelson's running straight for Amos. Amos is like, crap, I don't want any part of that. And then for some reason, Nelson's like going for his legs. That should have been a chop block penalty, but it wasn't. And there you go. So that was 3rd and 19.
I was disappointed with Jair on that play. I mean, I know the defensive backs were back farther, but like, why did they not come up and attack that?
I don't know. You're going to be more disappointed him in this play.
Probably.
This is going to juxtapose what we talked about earlier with the Packers. It's 4th and 4. It's 4th and 4, and I want to show you something very important. On this 4th and 4, remember before I showed you a video where the Packers had 3rd and 3 or some crap like that, and they ran 3 guys on 20-yard routes and only 1 guy on a 4-yard route?
Yeah, smart.
The Colts have 5 guys in on this play. If you look to the downside, this guy does runs to the first down marker and does an in route. This guy does I don't know what this is, an angle route to the outside. Okay. And this takes a little bit longer to develop. So I'm thinking that, Phillip Rivers knows I'm looking over to the right first. Then I come back to the left if the right's not open. The slot guy, tight end, goes straight, turns around. Simple. If he's open, if they're playing zone, he's going to be open for the first down. They're playing man. Up here, the tight end on this side runs straight at Jair Alexander. I mean, he just goes straight at him. He doesn't even I'm not running a route. I'm there to just run straight at you. And then right before he gets to Jair, then he breaks off and runs straight or like forward upfield before he touches him, so that it can't be called a pick play. And here's the part that's the worst. This guy on the outside is not a wide receiver.
I know.
It's Hines. It's Hines. And he does a 1-yard slant route, catches it at about 2 yards, and then gets 5 yards. And Jair gets picked by the tight end, but he doesn't, because the tight end never even touches him. He doesn't chuck him. He doesn't hit him. Nothing. He gets a free release, and they get the first down. And every one of these guys is running less than an 8-yard route. Most of them are 4 or 5 yard routes. 5 players. Any one of them could get open. It would be a first down. It would be a quick pass within a couple seconds, because they know Philip Rivers can't move.
And
where the Packers have that same thing, and they run 3 guys deep and 1 guy only.
That's really interesting, Ben, that you bring that up, because all the guys are up close, right? Tight to the line of scrimmage.
That's what I wanted to show.
None of them chuck? None of them throw off the time?
No, not a single one. Not a single one.
For a quarterback that can't run, wants to get the ball out fast, it's 4th and 4. What do you want to do? Throw off their timing. They're clearly passing here. There's nobody to hand the ball to.
Yep. And the reason why I wanted to show this was because all week everybody's talking about, Nagler, everybody's like, oh, they're always 9 yards off the ball and blah, blah, blah. Well, they're not. They're 2 yards off the ball. But they still don't chuck. They don't disrupt the play. What we talked about on Friday, me, you, Bruce, everybody, we talked about it. Disrupt. Like I said, don't worry about getting to Philip Rivers. You will get to him eventually because he can't run. What you want to do is get to the receivers and mess them up. They don't even do that. And this is just an example of a good play call for the situation that the Packers don't do, and the Colts did do, and that's why they won. And so you just want to watch whoever this guy is. He's going to run straight at Jair. It's crazy. And right before he gets there, he's going to look at him. He's not even running a route. He's going straight at him. And then he's like, whoop, no, I'm not touching you. I didn't run a pick route. Not at all. Hines catches it. He gets 2 more yards, 3 more yards. I don't even know. He just keeps going. Look at that. It's forever. He gets freaking 15 yards on that play. You got 15 yards. That should have been nothing. No chuck. No nothing. They were still playing man coverage. They were still playing up close. Wasn't bump and run, but it was up close. And they still can't stop him.
Why would Jair? I mean, Jair's got to run through that too. He's got to get that call because
he should have. Yes. Yeah, because they would have been a penalty, and then that would have been it, and then they would have had to punt.
Yeah.
I mean, but these are things it's awareness, it's understanding the situation, it's understanding things like, are these guys being coached this stuff? We've seen Z on how many plays never look at the quarterback. He just runs, tries to get by a guy in front of him. Who is watching the tape? Where's this Smith guy? His coach, his personal coach. Does he not watch the tape with him and say, Z, we've been burned on screen passes about 5,000 times this year. Can you maybe get your head up and look at the goddamn quarterback and see if he has the ball? Because if you keep running toward him, he doesn't have the ball. It doesn't do us any good. And it just takes you out of the play. How about if you keep your eyes up so you can see what's going on? Because you can stop the run and you can watch the quarterback and see if he has the ball. That's doubly good. But no, he just keeps running past this guy without looking at anything. And that's why the Ravens let him go. It's got to be because he has the abilities. He's got speed. He's got strength. He's got the bull rush. He's got the physical talents. He's got all that stuff. He's a great guy, right? We love him. We loved him. He was your favorite guy before week 1. You said, Zadarius Smith is my favorite guy. I love his beard. He's awesome. That's what you said. You love Zadarius Smith. And I love Zadarius Smith. We talked all offseason about how much we loved him. And he works hard. And he has been injured this year with his ankle. And he has tried his best. But he's got to understand the situations. He's got to look at the quarterback. He's got to look for the running back. He can't just go and try to beat his guy in front of him every play. Because you can make more plays if your head's in the game. And his head's not in the game. Yeah. And I think that's coaching. Teach
it has
him.
To be. I mean, it's coaching or the players aren't listening to the coaching. And either way, those are problems. So, but Like that was the play. I just thought of that play too. It was a perfect example, and I made a note because I think I either sent Nick a text or somebody, or maybe I sent it to you. But the play that Kirksey got his interception, Win was in the middle, right?
Yep.
He got stuffed right away. He didn't get anywhere on his pass rush, which we've seen Zadarius do how many times this year. So he's like, okay. So then he was like, I'm not getting anywhere this time. So he kind of held his ground, watched quarterback, got his hand up, deflected the pass, and then it was picked off. That's what you do. That, like, especially with a guy you know that wants to get the ball out quick. Get your hands up. You're not going to get there, so get your hands up. And especially when you try a pass rush and it doesn't work out and you're kind of stuck, or the guy's got a hold of you and they're not calling it, fine. Then get your damn hands up, man, because good stuff can happen.
Hey, remember how I wanted us to trade for J.J. Watt? On Sunday, J.J. Watt had 4 passes defensed at the line of scrimmage.
Really?
4 in one game. J.J. swapped. Darius Smith has never had a pass defense other than, actually, I guess this play, because it was supposed to, it was either a fumble or a pass defense. So I guess that counts as a pass defense when he hit Philip Rivers, when at the fourth quarter there, or whenever it was.
Was that a fumble, Ben, or not?
I didn't see it. I didn't watch that play because I didn't care. I mean, like I said, I only was able to watch.
I couldn't tell.
Go back and watch. It probably wasn't.
I mean, the thing is, Z went for like the elbow crux. So Rivers throws normally like this anyway.
Right. So you don't know.
Oh, you had to get way out here to stop him from going forward. Now it was kind of coming off his fingertips. And did he have control of the ball? I don't know.
See, but you can tell with his wobbly, crappy ball he throws, it could have been a perfect pass for him. Who knows?
Either way, I'm not as concerned about that. I'm more concerned about I was mostly concerned about the way they came out in the third quarter and ran all over him. And now they made Jonathan Taylor, who's been in the doghouse, look like a stud. And then the next drive, the second drive of the third quarter for the Colts, there were 2 key opportunities that I think if either of those things happen, if either of those things go a different way, the Packers, it could have been a different end result. It's 28-17 at that point. To me, these are the turning points of the game. That drive, 28-17, and on a 3rd and 10, Indy's at their own 45-yard line, 3rd and 10. I know we're going kind of long tonight. We've got just a couple things to get through. On a 3rd and 10, Indy's at their 45. Rivers goes back, just does a little dump in the flat to Jonathan Taylor, who's 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So he's at the 40-yard line. The 40-yard line. And he gets 9.5 yards on 3rd and 10 with just a little dump off that's 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Jair loafed it on the play. Somebody else didn't attack. He put a decent move on him. But if you attack him, you could trip him up however many yards short. Well, then that put the ball almost at the Packers 45, which Frank Reich is like, yeah, we're going to go for it now. I wasn't thinking we were going to go for it with a little dump out in the flat. Philip Rivers wasn't thinking we were going to end up going for it. Just a safe pass to get a couple yards and then let's punt it. But now we can go for it. So then they go for it. And they get the first down because we know on 3rd and short, 4th and short, do you ever have any faith that the Packers are going to stop the other team if they just hand it off and run it up the gut?
Yes, I do have faith.
I have 0 faith.
I have faith when there's 9 guys on the field and none of them know what's going on, but Kenny Clark is at nose tackle and Ty Summers is behind him. Then I have faith that they can stop him on 4th and 1. But that's the only way I'm ever going to have faith. If it's 2 against 11 and the 2 guys are Ty Summers and Kenny Clark, then I have faith that it'll stop it on 4th and 1.
I would have faith with Ty Summers too. So then they get the
conversion. Can we say that? Is it about time? Yeah. Come on, Ty Summers needs to be in the game.
I mean,
he's at least he's gonna be there. He would have stopped Pittman. Pittman wouldn't have scored a touchdown on that play. I can tell you that. God dang.
He's fast. At least Kirksey, we know, is not fast. We've seen that.
He's not fast.
We've seen that. He's a nice guy, but he's not fast.
And Philip Rivers is changing the play calls. And that's the other thing. When we watched that game with Chiefs and the Raiders, and Derek Carr was changing the calls, the Chiefs middle linebacker was changing the calls to go along with them. The Packers never do that because they don't have a guy there who knows what the hell's going on. Kirksey's only been there for like a week. And everybody else is a bunch of rookies.
He's supposed to know Pettin's defense so well, though. It's supposed to be I still don't know what Pettine's defense is
I don't
supposed to be.
think
I
Pet
don't
knows
get
what
it.
his damn defense is because it doesn't do anything.
I don't get it. But okay,
Jesus.
there was one more play though. So I think it was the very next play after they got the 4th down conversion. So to me, it was that 3rd down swing pass that got 9.5 yards and let them go for it on 4th down. And then I think it was the 1st down pass play where Tyler Lancaster got pressure right up on Rivers, deflected the ball, and the ball went straight up in the middle of the field, like 15, 20 yards downfield, forever, hanging up in the middle field. And Savage has got his back turned. He's like, it's behind him. If he turns around, the ball drops in his lap. Amos is 30 yards back, so he can't run up fast enough to come and get it. Like somehow that ball in the middle of the field that got flown straight up in the air falls harmlessly incomplete. So to me, 9.5 yards on 3rd and 10 on a swing pass. We actually give up 14.5 yards because it was a 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And then letting that, not picking that ball off and stop. Either one of those plays could have stopped that drive. They don't make either one of them. The Colts get the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and then they can kick a field goal to tie it next. So,
listen,
I don't know.
This
I don't know. The defense. No, the thing is, go ahead. I
mean, here's the other thing that's so weird. So the Packers had 4 turnovers, and the Packers defense only gave up 6 points off of those 4 turnovers.
I know.
So it's like, think about that. It could have been 28 points off those 4 turnovers, but it was only 6 points off the 4. So it's a weird thing. When they needed them to stop them after something really bad happened, they did. And then at the start of the second half, they couldn't stop anybody. Couldn't stop a nosebleed. Couldn't stop everybody was running down them. Same thing with the Packers offense. First half, they moved the ball. They were doing things. Second half, they couldn't hang on to the ball long enough to do anything with it. Fumble on the kickoff. Blah, blah, blah. Go for it on 4th and 1. Don't get it because of dumb play call. This is what we're going to have to deal with. And the bottom line is I think we're going to have to start to enjoy the wins for however we get them. It's not going to be pretty this whole year. It's not going to be pretty. And I think that as Packer fans, us freaking out about it and getting mad, like you said, this game, you weren't even mad about it. And I wasn't mad either. I didn't watch the whole game though. Like if I would have watched the whole game, probably would have been super mad. But I mean, as it was going on, I watched it later, but not as the game, like live. So, I think we just have to enjoy what's going to happen because we're 7-3.
Yep. Still
we're
7-3.
The 3rd seed in the playoffs.
The Bucks lost.
Unless something crazy
Saints
happens, we're going to have a home playoff game.
They have a head-to-head tiebreaker with the Saints.
Yeah, but the Saints got a game up on us now.
I know,
they got
but
Taysom Hill's their quarterback now.
I know. But they still got a head-to-head tiebreaker, and the Saints got a tougher schedule the rest of the way. And you also got okay, we got the Seahawks, but I don't care. Like I'm fine. I'm fine going to New Orleans when there's not going to be that many fans there. They'll do just fine. Like Rodgers will play well. Jones will play well. I don't know if the defense will play well, but I think the offense will be fine there. And going to Seattle, I'm okay with that too. But I don't want to go to Tampa Bay.
I got to, like I said, Aaron Rodgers today on Pat McAfee said that Billy Turner was a key contributor to the team playing right and left tackle. I honestly don't get it. Like, they need to realize what the deficiencies are.
Yep.
And they need to help these guys out. I mean, okay, if you got to play Billy Turner, you got to play Billy Turner. But give him some help on passing downs because he can't do it himself. Keep it back in. Like that on that play on the big pass to the MVS for the PI where Robert Tonyan did the chip block first on the defensive end before he went on his route. That was great. That gave Billy Turner enough time to kind of gather himself. He actually even went and helped Lucas Patrick for a second and then came back and was able to cover, block his own guy. Rodgers had enough time to get that deep pass off. More stuff like that. More plays where guys are helping each other out with route combinations, not 3 guys running straight down the field and none of them this is not Mike McCarthy offense anymore. And I don't know what's going on. If that's Rodgers calling these plays because he likes that stuff or what?
I don't know why.
Where was the boot? I guess I didn't remember too many plays, but where was the boots with the tight ends and the crossing routes? Where was the the screen, not screens, but a screen pass. Can we do a screen pass to Aaron Jones? I want to see one screen pass a game to Aaron Jones. Can we see that?
They tried a couple to Williams, 1 or 2 to Williams, I think.
I don't want. Ah, dang it. That's it. Now I'm getting mad. I've been on the show for an hour, 2 hours, almost 2 hours. Can we please stop it? Can we stop it, LaFleur? I'm begging you. Aaron freaking Jones. He is your freaking key piece. You have 2 players on this team that scare defenses. One of them is super fast and only catches half the time. The other one is Aaron Jones. They need to be on the field at all times because they'll take the defense away from other guys. No more of this Jamal Williams out there and no Aaron Jones crap unless Aaron Jones is hurt or sick or his grandma died or something stupid happened or whatever. It's getting ridiculous. Aaron Jones had 10 carries and 4 targets in this game. And I understand they didn't have the ball much in the second half and blah, blah, flip flop and all that crap. But Jamal Williams is in the game on the last drive.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? He's not going to make anybody miss. He's not going to take it to the house when you, and they didn't keep him in to help block. So what is he out there for? Aaron Jones is the freaking guy. I thought we had it figured out, LaFleur. I showed you the video last week. I was all excited. I played the video of LaFleur saying, he went on for 22 minutes about how great Aaron Jones is. Get him in the goddamn game. This has got nothing to do with my fantasy football team. This has to do with the Packers and winning freaking games. Good God! Did the Vikings take Dalvin Cook out for an entire series? Hell no!
And they just gave him a new contract. And he's
Jesus Christ! I'm not a smart person. I'm an average intelligent person. And I know that Aaron Jones should be in the goddamn game. God!
Your intelligence is the same as Bill Minicke's physical prowess.
Actually, you know what? I'm smarter than average, goddammit. I'm pretty smart. I'm not dumb. But I'm telling you right now, it ain't that hard to figure out. Am I right, Grant? Grant just came out. He thought I was having a heart attack. I am having a heart attack because I can't take it anymore. He's the best player on offense. Aaron Rodgers, but he's the best playmaker guy.
Yeah.
God, I just don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well, it's the same thing. It's not the same because it doesn't, you don't have Dylan breathing down his neck for playing time and all this stuff. But it's the same sort of thing with the coaching. The coaches decide who's in the game. They're deciding to put Billy Turner out there, even with as horrible as he was playing. They're deciding to put, EQ in there when he was stinking it up. They're deciding who's on the field.
And even Aaron Rodgers today, dude, when he was on Pat McAfee, talked up Jamal Williams again. Jamal Williams he didn't even mention Aaron Jones, by the way. Didn't even mention Aaron Jones. He mentioned Billy Turner. He mentioned Lucas Patrick. He mentioned Jenkins. He mentioned Bakhtiari's big contract. He mentioned Devontae. He mentioned Lazard coming back. He talked about MVS. Then he said Jamal Williams is he's even getting more involved this year. I remember when he on Instagram or when he had his 40-yard passes, routes he ran on Instagram and the offseason. No!
I think
Aaron Jones. God dang it! And he always talks up. I'm telling you, Rodgers just wants his buddies out there. His buddies, and he said he didn't back up Aaron Jones.
He knows Aaron Jones.
Oh, he loves good. Big Dog, and man, even though he can't block nobody
Big
anymore,
Dog is having some rough.
He loves Billy Turner. He loves Bakhtiari. He loves Devontae Adams. He loves Jamal Williams. Well,
they're just so.
Who you're gonna love? How you gonna love those guys when you can't win freaking games in the playoffs? When Aaron Jones is sitting on the goddamn sideline because you're stupid.
He said Jones is. Maybe he didn't say it today. I think what they're trying to do is they really do like Jamal Williams. They also understand he's not going to be back. Because they like him as a person.
He's just a guy.
I know, but they like him as a person, and I think what they're trying to do, they understand that he's not going to be back in the Packers next year, so they're trying to convince all these other teams to give him a
Not
contract
working.
so he gets paid by somebody next year.
It's not working.
Well, I'm just telling
Nobody
you, man.
is worried about Jamal Williams. It's not working.
Maybe
all they're doing is
it worked for
making
Jimmy
everybody
Graham.
realize
Maybe the Bears will sign him next year because it worked for Jimmy Graham to get another
the Bears
contract.
are going to sign Aaron Jones.
No, shh, stop it.
I hope Aaron Jones go to a team with a dome because he will kill everybody.
He will.
I got to be honest. I almost don't even want the Packers to sign him back because I'm like, screw it. If you don't want to play him, I'll keep him on fantasy next year. He can go to a better team, and I'll be an Aaron Jones fan and still a Packer fan, but I'll also be an Aaron Jones fan and also be a Justin Herbert fan and also be, I don't know who else I'm a big fan of, but all those guys and whatever. I'm sorry he's yelling and screaming, and my kids came out. Both my kids are wondering if I'm okay, but I can't say it anymore. I'm so sick of saying it. Like, why do I? What? It's not even like I don't even know. Like, what's going on? What are these people doing?
There's no explanation. There's no explanation.
They keep playing Billy Turner. Why? They don't play defense. They don't freaking attack. They don't like. Okay, can I say one thing? If the Bears move the ball on this team on Sunday night, Pettin needs to go. Like that after the game, he needs to be fired. If they can't stop the Bears, who are absolutely terrible on offense, who can't do anything, Pettin needs to be fired. Like because there's no way you're going to keep him for next year. It's the same thing as McCarthy when he got canned. They knew they weren't going to keep him, so they're like, you know what? Just go. And I know the team was bad then, but this defense is bad. It can't get much worse. So you might as well just let him go because you're not going to keep him. So just be like, you know what? The fans hate you. Even I hate you now. So goodbye. Like LaFleur would be like, I can't take it anymore. See ya. If they can't stop the Bears, he's got to go. He's got to go. What's this? Jones might still be hurt. Bernard Jones isn't hurt, man.
So
the only thing that's hurt Jones is his feelings are hurt because he's not getting played enough because he's so goddamn good.
He can't wear the sunglasses.
And by the way, who's the guy who was on the sidelines consoling MVS after that fumble? Yep. Who's the guy with the big leadership abilities? Aaron Jones. Aaron Rodgers said something to him in the locker room after he said.
He's a good kid.
But he didn't say he blamed him. None of the guys would go by him otherwise. But Aaron Jones went up to him and gave him a hug and said, dude, I'm there for you. Because he remembers against the Vikings, he fumbled in that first drive, and Anthony Barr said that, light's too bright for you. And then Aaron Jones came back and kicked the crap out of the Vikings and won it in Week 16 last year with his big 50-yard touchdown run. It was awesome. God damn. All right, I got to stop yelling.
Whew, we got to wrap her up. Nico left an hour ago already, I'm sure. But
I don't know if Nico.
I know, I'm just playing. You know how quick he leaves. Gotta go. I'm out of here. Nico, we love you, though. Love you guys. Bernard, Bruce, Lee, everybody that joined in tonight. Mom and Dad, Jody, anybody else for hanging out. We appreciate it. Hopefully we made some sense. And that was the treat. If you hung around for almost 2 hours, you got Ben's big rant at the end. All I had to do was say something about Jamal Williams, and that set him off. So you're welcome.
Yep.
We'll talk about the upcoming Bears matchup on Friday night. And we have a special surprise, special treat for you, as by request of Bruce and others from last Friday night. I found it, and we're gonna give you a treat on Friday.
You did?
I don't have anything else about this game other than it is one game. There's still a lot in front of the team. And again, I've said this before. Okay, is this a dominant team that you're like feeling right now? Yes, they're going to win the Super Bowl. No. But
could they win the Super Bowl?
They're a good team. If they get a couple of breaks here and there, if the other team does something dumb, could the defense stop them? Sure.
If they play Aaron Jones 90% of the time?
If they play Aaron Jones a bunch, and if Aaron Rodgers is playing really at the peak, can they light up the other team? Sure.
Yeah.
If they don't fumble or have a big special teams gaffe, could they win the game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So, again, there's hope. There's hope. Because they've already won 7 games out of 10. There is definitely hope that this could be a Super Bowl team this year. So, hang on to the hope. If we play in the NFC East, there'd be hope all the way to the end of the season, regardless of your record. But 3 wins right now. Everybody's got 3 wins in the division right now.
Hey, if the Cowboys win on Thursday, they would go from last to first. Or something like that.
We're going to do an over-under on that for NFC East champs wins. How many wins for the NFC East champ this year? We'll do that on Friday night. Everybody have a good Turkey Day. Stay safe. Stay well.
Yep.
Things are crazy out there. That's why you come here and hang with us for 2 hours. Not because you want to, because you want to avoid all the other nonsense and noise. But be safe out there. Wear a mask. Keep your distance. Be careful because things are getting kind of nutty. So, all right. That's been